AKA Padders. Welcome to the AKA Pad Army Audio Audacity. That's this podcast. This is where we go over movies, we discuss movies, and I'm not your regular movie critic, your discussioner, because I actually watch these movies, and I don't go through talking points, and I don't monitor what other critics are saying. I go off of my brain, the tip of my brain, and today we're talking Army of Thieves, the spin-off of Army of the Dead, the movie I labeled as the greatest zombie movie of all time. This deepens its mythology in a very clear, fun, and non-intrusive way. That almost sounds like a HR report. Let's just bang through that intro and jump to the discussion. So when I say discussion, I mean me talking to you and the voices in your head. All right. So this is like something every creator says to themselves. When the creator is watching the movie, they are part producer, they're part studio head, they're part director. And, you know, they go through all of these roles and they convince themselves that they can actually do these things in the industry that they have zero, skin in the game with. And I just feel like if you're hanging out with the boys watching Army of the Dead, you just might be like, hey, that character's interesting. Wouldn't it be cool if they did like a side story and you kind of learn more about their skill set, how they got to where they are, and just a little bit more of their psychology, but like make it fun and don't make it deadly, but it definitely needs to be a movie. Well, this is what happened. And I don't know. No one really cares about Army of Thieves, which is hilarious because as a side tangent, side story origin, it's pretty effing good. And we even have, because I always have to like watch a movie a few times to remember everything I want, because I don't really take notes. But I just had to remind myself as I was in mid-thought to say how much I enjoyed the opening credits for this movie. Freaking awesome. Now, the guy behind this movie, Matthias Schweighöfer, he's like he's our writer, director, star. He's so freaking awesome in this movie. Like his role, he's this lovable genius, and he's awkward, and he's in love, and he's not in love, and it's a triangle, but it's really not. And it's tragic because the backdrop of this entire story is the zombie invasion that looked like it started in Las Vegas, leading to the point that the zombie queen, there's a point zero, there's a patient zero type character, there's a hive mind, okay, where like Las Vegas is the epicenter of this zombie invasion, goes into the mythology of Army of the Dead. Everything. I keep forgetting the name of that freaking movie. I just want to say Batista, Army of Batista. But yeah, and this movie goes into that. Like it goes into the spread of the zombie virus, and everyone's kind of nonchalant about it. And at first viewing, you're like, well, that doesn't quite fit. Everyone should be freaking out that there's a zombie like apocalypse happening in real time, but you kind of learn that it doesn't quite spread. It starts to happen in this movie, and essentially they contain it in Vegas, which is freaking awesome because this idea that, because we know it from the beginning of Army of Darkness, we know it's like New Mexico, Roswell, Area 51, Las Vegas type thing. But this movie contains it because we essentially set up why this guy would want to go to Vegas. That's really where like this movie is, because the vault, and like this guy's like a vault junkie. He cracks safes. Okay, he's a safe junkie. He's a code breaker junkie. As some of the other like characters, there's like hacker junkie, and there's all those stereotypes. and he's out for glory. He's not out for money. He's out to be the best safecracker ever. And going into the psychology of that type of character and where they would get some of their ideas and what would even like inspire them. But we also would want them to be a little bit high focus. We want them to be a little disconnected from the rest of society. We want them to be weird, odd, awkward whenever they open up their mouths. We want that in this type of character, and that's exactly what this guy is, and that's what makes this movie so freaking fun. Now, it's it's labeled, it's marked on Wikipedia as a 2021 heist comedy film. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. I guess it would. Is it really a comedy? I would say it's more like a heist action film. But he's like, like there are some good laughs in it, and he's good, and everyone's good. And this movie goes through the Michael Bay casting character trope that people fake hate, which is, oh, here's a guy, we're just going to give him a pink mohawk, for example. Here's a guy, he's got a blender for a head. Here's easily identifiable characters. You can follow them, and they're easily identifiable. This is casting. This is why we put these guys in film like this, okay? So, that's what we have. And people just want to fake act like that they don't like it, they don't enjoy it. They want to fake act like it doesn't work, which it does. Because, again, this movie has a intertwined, like it has a big plot. It has sophisticated storytelling. And by that, I mean that there's a lot that happens scene to scene. And it's character, and it's also plot. And it's these two things happening at the same time. But they do a good job with building up his character. They do a good job with dropping those nuggets that lead into Army of the Dead. And I guess, like, in the future, right? Like, I think there's an Army of the Dead TV show coming. This kind of makes me want to rewatch Army of the Dead on the premise that I don't, like, confession here, I don't remember what happens to our character here. To our main character, and I don't even have, what is his name's like Gustav. He's got those like one of those like Willy Wonka names. Sebastian's his name. So I don't remember if Sebastian dies or not in Army of the Dead. But it's kind of funny because everyone has these theories with Army of the Dead that there's somewhat of a time loop happening, because when they finally get to the safe, they see themselves there. And like, I didn't read it as that. I read it that the guy trying to get into the safe, which there's a tease. We see him in this movie. He's hired multiple teams of people, and all of these teams kind of have the same elements. They have the big guy. They have the hacker. They have the safe cracker. They have the explosive experts. They have the transportation person. So, like, they would kind of be like tropes within tropes. It's so meta, and I just felt like that was what the nod was. That's why that was there, because again, when you make a movie, you have to add new things. When you make multiple movies like Zack Snyder has, you want to entertain yourself along the way, and you want to try new things. And this is one of those things that I think he tried. I think he tried this meta take on the very genre that he was depicting, or a part of, or directing, or making. But no, this movie is a ton of fun. I know it didn't get a lot of love. I think it's a home run spin-off franchise starter from Netflix. And it's kind of funny. Our latest episode was Red Notice, which I'm anticipating being a huge franchise for Netflix. I think that franchise should just keep going with Reynolds, Gal Gadot, not Gail Gadot, even though I said Gail before, and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson as a criminal thief trifecta. We want this movie. I would love Army of Thieves to become Helicopter of Thieves, and Transportation and Batista of Thieves. I really feel like they can spin every single one of those characters off into their own saga and journey. And Batista had a great backstory. People seemed, when it comes to some of the takes for Army of the Dead. I might have been saying Army of Darkness. I think I was. Crap. I mean Army of the Dead, clearly. But no, I just think, like, people had, like, they identified some of those side characters, like, the crew characters. Some people like this one, some people like that one. That's why you when you make a movie like that, you put in as much as you can. You pour it all in. But yeah, so look, we also have our director, the Matthias Schweighöfer. I can't say his last name. He's our star, but he's amazing on camera. He looks like a freaking model, and he can direct. But and it's. I can't remember the last time I saw a actor director that was somewhat relative unknown make a movie this size, this good, and then also be in a movie as good. I mean, like, technically, I don't know. Like, I would kind of say this. It's a $7 million movie, and it feels like it's like a $60 million movie. I can't believe that they made this movie for $7 million. That blows my mind. Yeah, I mean, it's worth it. It really is. He's got, like, his own filmography. I'm not familiar with anything, but he's been acting since 1999. He's been making movies since 2011. He's usually writer, producer, and director. Joy of Fatherhood, The Many, You Are Wanted, and it seems like he just directs himself. I don't know. He's very eclectic guy. I can tell. He's got 2 kids, by the way. He's from East Germany. that's his whole bio, according to Wikipedia. But no, I highly recommend this movie. Now, here we go. Okay, we're going to go on a little run here, because I have to talk about the Ghostbusters movie. We did Ghostbusters 2016 when that came out. I guess I was on that hype wagon of bashing that movie. I'm going to go on the run. I'm going to watch all the Ghostbusters leading into Ghostbusters Afterlife to fully document the drip of that franchise. Now, I may or may not do the Ghostbusters television series as well. I may, because it's hard to watch cartoons. They're just bad. Just when you try and watch that stuff as a adult, and it's hard for me to even watch it sometimes on the artistic merit. It's just tough, people. But we're going to do Ghostbusters. Episode 446 will be the original Ghostbusters, okay? And then we're going to go Ghostbusters 2, Ghostbusters 2016, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and potentially the Ghostbusters cartoon series. Rock and roll, people.